What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. VP Tactical here, and today we are talking about the Palmetto State Armory Micro Dagger. This is my shooting update video. If you saw my previous video, I'll leave a link up top. That was my unboxing, and so this one I actually finally got a chance to take this thing to the range. I was out for the count and sick for a number of days over New Year's, and it wasn't exactly very pleasant, to say the least. But at any rate, I certainly appreciate all the comments and feedback, and if you want to support my channel, definitely hit that like and subscribe button, and certainly don't forget that little bell notification. That way you know as soon as I drop new content. And so finally had an opportunity to get these to the range. Now bear in mind, these are not broken in yet. I've ran about 100 rounds through each slide using the same frame, and so essentially 200 rounds on the internal components of the frame, trigger bar, all of that stuff, but about 100 rounds each, or 100 rounds each on these slides. And so something that I noticed I wanted to talk about, just right out the gate, the C1 slide, this one actually performed flawlessly, no issues, without any hitches at all. The regular micro, some might call it the M1 or the micro slide, this one did have some hangups. Initially, when I would rack it, it was sticking back, and I kind of had to force the slide back into battery, just when I was dry firing it before I even got to the range. And then I noticed it was a bit sticky too, like even with the magazines in there, sometimes it wouldn't release with the mag release itself. But something that was also more interesting too, when I put in these mags, and mind you, these are all empty, gun's empty, I've noticed some difference in pressure. So this is the standard magazine versus their micro slick, and you can tell because this one actually has that slick looking finish to it. At any rate, something that I noticed too was on the release, it's extremely hard to push down with these standard magazines, and it's the same with both of them. So I thought maybe it was just that one mag, and I mean, you really have to push really hard on that, whereas with the micro slick, really super easy, light release. So something I found pretty interesting, I guess something worth noting, with this particular smaller frame, I did notice that this had, like I said, some hangups on it. So I think it was just due to the gun needing to be, or at least the slide needing to be broken in. I've got, again, 100 rounds to the slide as of now, and so I did have some issues with this particular slide. When I was shooting it, there was a couple of times where I did have some failure to feeds. But nothing weird like failure to eject or anything else of that sort. It was just mainly failure to feed. I think there might be just some tolerance issues, and that's what's causing, or was causing, the hangups before. Because if I did this before, the slide would stick back, and I'd have to slam it with my fist back into battery. And so it seems like it's wearing in. Again, I'll know more once I get closer to that 500 round mark. But something in particular that is worth noting too with these slides is that you want to make sure that your recoil spring is in there and down on the very bottom. If it's out even just a millimeter, you may not even be able to get the slide on. I noticed some hangups there when I was doing that. And so that could cause potentially some problems. But all that being said, shooting the Dagger, so issues aside, and again, with the C1, I had no problems at all. This was flawless. This one, the only issue I had was like I said, the slide sticking back, and then, like I said, the failure to feed. I think that happened to me twice on 100 rounds. So, I mean, not terrible, but again, I'll know more once I've got this thing, up to that 500 round count per slide. And then I'll have a better sight picture of what's going on with it, and if there are any lingering issues that need to be dealt with. But that being said, all in all, the gun is freaking awesome. I love the grip, the texturing, the stippling, just the way it feels in the hand. This is actually a really comfortable gun to shoot. I've got the SIG P365X, and I've got some other smaller guns. I've even shot a subcompact P320 and some other, again, smaller handguns that were in this similar category, even though this is a micro, not necessarily considered a subcompact. And this is just a really comfortable gun to shoot. got the SIG P365X, and I've got some other smaller guns. I've even shot a subcompact P320 and some other, again, smaller handguns that were in this similar category, even though this is a micro, not necessarily considered a subcompact. And this is just a really comfortable gun to shoot. Think that, given its small size, that it would have a lot of recoil. It has you notice it's there, but it wasn't uncomfortable. When I shot the P365 within its small frame just on its own, without adding any other attachments or upgrading the length of the grip or any of that other stuff, I mean, it certainly was a bit snappy. At least my perceived perception with recoil was definitely snappy. But all in all, again, just with the standard micro slide, this thing is absolutely a blast to shoot. Now, that being said, I did notice once I swapped over to the C1 slide that there was a noticeable improvement with the recoil reduction with that built-in comp. Is it groundbreaking? No, but you can certainly tell the difference, and it just feels even smoother. Obviously, you're going to get onto target acquisition quicker, faster follow-up shots. That's really the main benefit of this. I mean, the big things that are working for you, you've got those hot gases expanding out of here, shooting up, pushing the barrel down. So again, gets you back on target quicker. Plus, you also have that much more slide material, which adds to the weight of the gun itself, which again will also help with muzzle rise. So that's pretty much my take on the Micro Dagger, the standard, and as some people call the M1, or just the regular Micro 43X, and then the Micro Dagger C1. So drop those thoughts, comments below. Let me know if you've experienced any of those things that I was. If you've already picked one of these up, if you had any issues with the magazines and the slide stop or the slide release, with those hanging up, or not even hanging up, but being a little bit more difficult with the standard mags versus the micro slicks. And then same thing too, if you had any other issues as far as failure to feed, failure to fire, anything like that. I think, like I said, once I get these to the 500 round mark each, I'm going to be super stoked. But yeah, certainly appreciate all the love and support. Again, if you want to support my channel, hit that subscribe button, like, and don't forget to hit that little bell notification. That way you know as soon as I drop some new content. Looks like in the future here we're going to be getting some optics for these bad boys, or at least for one of them to start off with. Maybe for two, we'll see. I've got some other AR-15 gear coming, and just some little random goodies and videos that I wanted to show for you folks. So take care, be safe, and Happy New Year.